Have you ever wondered if a simple mistake before a blood test could change your results and even your doctor's advice? Blood tests are one of the most common and important tools for understanding what's going on inside your body, especially as we get older. Yet, so many seniors don't realize that small choices in the hours before a test can quietly lead to misleading results, unnecessary worry, or even a wrong diagnosis. You might feel healthy and prepared, but even a cup of coffee or skipping breakfast can send your numbers in the wrong direction. In today's video, I'm sharing 7 common mistakes seniors make before a blood test, habits that doctors warn can affect everything from your cholesterol to your blood sugar, and even the safety of the test itself. Whether you're getting ready for a routine checkup, a cholesterol screening, or a fasting blood draw, knowing what to avoid can help you get the most accurate answers and avoid repeat visits or confusion down the road. Stay with me until the end, because you'll learn not only what not to do, but also simple ways to make sure your blood test results are truly a reflection of your real health. Now, let's get started. Mistake 1: forgetting to stay hydrated. It's surprisingly common for seniors to forget just how important hydration is before a blood test. Many people think that because they're fasting, they should avoid water too. But unless your doctor specifically tells you otherwise, drinking water before a blood test is not only allowed, it's highly recommended. Being well hydrated can make the whole experience smoother and lead to more accurate results. When your body is short on fluids, your veins can become smaller and harder to find. This makes it much more difficult for the technician to draw your blood, leading to multiple pokes, bruising, or discomfort that could have easily been avoided. Thick, sluggish blood can even affect the results of certain tests like kidney function or electrolytes, making them look worse than they really are. Some folks get dizzy, lightheaded, or even faint during or after the blood draw, especially if they skipped water in the hours before the appointment. What often happens is that people mix up the rules for fasting. They think no food or drink means not a drop of anything at all, or they avoid drinking because they don't want to get up in the night or use the restroom before leaving for the clinic. This is a small habit, but one that can create big problems both for your comfort and for your results. I remember speaking with Clarence, age 80, who was always careful to fast before his annual blood work. He would skip breakfast and his morning coffee but also avoided water, thinking it would help his results come back cleaner. Unfortunately, his visit turned into a stressful ordeal with several tries to find a good vein. The technician explained that a glass or 2 of water before the appointment would have made the whole process easier. The next year, Clarence drank water as instructed and found the experience was quick and nearly painless. There's a psychological benefit to hydration too. When you're well hydrated, you're more comfortable and relaxed, making the experience less intimidating. You can focus on the important part, getting the right answers about your health instead of worrying about the blood draw itself. The best advice is to drink water as you normally would the evening before and the morning of your blood test, unless your doctor has told you not to. Skip caffeinated, sugary or colored drinks as these can change the results, but don't be shy about having plain water. A simple habit like this can save you pain, frustration, and even a return trip to the lab. Remember, your goal is to make your blood test as accurate and stress-free as possible. Staying hydrated is an easy step that supports both your results and your overall well-being, no matter your age. Mistake 2: taking medications or supplements without checking first. Another mistake that can quietly throw off your blood test results is taking your usual medications or supplements without checking with your doctor or the lab ahead of time. Many seniors are on daily prescriptions, everything from blood pressure pills to vitamins, herbal teas, or even over-the-counter pain relievers. While it's important not to skip your medicines unless your doctor says so, some pills or supplements can interfere with test results or even make it unsafe to have your blood drawn. Certain medications can temporarily change things like blood sugar, kidney function, or liver enzymes. Even something as routine as aspirin or a multivitamin can alter the numbers the lab is measuring. For example, taking your thyroid medicine right before a blood test can make your levels look higher or lower than they really are. Supplements like biotin, found in hair and nail vitamins, can interfere with hormone tests and cause confusion, leading doctors down the wrong path. What's more, it's easy to forget about natural remedies. Herbal teas, fish oil, or even a new over-the-counter vitamin can seem harmless, but they might interact with the tests in ways you don't expect. Many people don't mention these to their doctors, assuming they don't count as real medicine, but the lab equipment doesn't know the difference. This can lead to unnecessary worry, repeat blood draws, or even changes to your treatment plan that aren't really needed. It can also cause emotional stress when results come back different from what you expected, or if you feel blame for a mistake you didn't even know you made. I remember a woman named Joyce, who was 81 and proud of managing her blood pressure carefully. Before her routine blood work, she took her usual morning vitamins, including biotin. The test results showed strange readings for her thyroid, leading to extra appointments and even a scare about her health. Once her doctor found out about the supplement, they repeated the test without it, and her numbers returned to normal. To avoid this, always ask your doctor or lab staff whether you should take your regular medicines or supplements before your test. If they say to hold off, follow their instructions exactly and make a list of everything you take, including vitamins, teas and over-the-counter pills, so you can discuss it in advance. This small step helps ensure that your blood test results reflect your true health and spares you the confusion and anxiety of unnecessary follow-ups. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Mistake 3. Eating or drinking before a fasting test. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make before a blood test is eating or drinking, sometimes even just a little, when they're supposed to be fasting. Many tests, such as those for blood sugar, cholesterol or triglycerides, require you to have an empty stomach for 8 to 12 hours. That means no food, and in many cases, not even a sip of coffee with cream or a quick snack before heading out the door. Even the smallest bite or sip can send your results off track, showing higher numbers than you really have, and leading your doctor to think there's a problem when there isn't. It's easy to see why this happens. Old habits die hard, and many folks wake up and automatically pour themselves a cup of coffee or grab a slice of toast. Others don't realize that chewing gum, taking a vitamin, or drinking juice can count as breaking the fast. Some think clear liquids like tea or diet soda won't make a difference, but they absolutely can, especially when it comes to certain tests. Even sugar-free gum can kick off a metabolic response and change your blood work. This isn't just about numbers, it's about what comes next. If your blood sugar or cholesterol shows up too high, your doctor may recommend more tests, start you on a new medication, or even worry about conditions you don't really have. You could leave the office with new concerns or an unnecessary prescription, all because of a simple morning mistake. The psychological impact is real too. Seniors may feel anxious or guilty if they forget the fasting instructions, and that stress can make the next appointment feel like a test in itself. Some folks even skip their blood test altogether out of fear they did it wrong, only to postpone their care. Take my friend Harold, who was 76. He always had a habit of drinking orange juice first thing in the morning. Before his last cholesterol check, he forgot about the fasting rule, and his results came back much higher than usual. That meant a worried phone call from his doctor, a repeat blood draw, and a week of unnecessary stress. Once Harold understood the importance of a true fast, he started setting a reminder note on his fridge, and his next results were right back on track. The takeaway here is simple. If your doctor tells you to fast, follow those instructions exactly. Water is usually the only thing that's truly safe, unless your medical team says otherwise. If you have questions about what fasting means for your particular test, ask your doctor or the lab staff ahead of time. It's better to be sure than to risk confusing results or extra appointments. Taking these small steps gives you the best chance for accurate, helpful answers and helps your care team truly see how healthy you are. Mistake 4. Overexerting yourself before the test. Another mistake that can quietly affect your blood test results is overexerting yourself with physical activity right before your appointment. Many seniors are encouraged to stay active, and that's a good thing. But squeezing in an intense workout, a long brisk walk, or heavy chores on the morning of your blood draw can actually alter the results in ways you might not expect. Physical activity affects many of the numbers measured in your blood. For example, a hard workout can temporarily raise your blood sugar, liver enzymes, or even the levels of certain proteins and electrolytes. If you usually take your blood tests after a restful night and a calm morning, but then one day do yard work or even shovel snow before heading to the clinic, your results might come back looking much different. This can lead to confusion for you and your doctor, with results that don't match your usual pattern. Sometimes people feel nervous about the test and try to burn off energy beforehand. Others simply stick to their daily routine, not realizing that even a short burst of activity can send their numbers out of their normal range. The problem isn't exercise itself, it's changing your routine or doing something much more strenuous than usual right before your blood is drawn. There's also the matter of how your body feels. Physical activity can lead to dehydration, sore muscles, or even dizziness, all of which make the blood draw less comfortable. Being tired or flushed can make the whole process more stressful, and you may find yourself less steady on your feet. I think of a friend, Henry, who at 74 was proud of his daily morning jog. One day before a fasting blood test, he decided to run a few extra miles, thinking it would help him look healthier on paper. Instead, his results were off. His blood sugar and enzymes were higher than usual, leading his doctor to question his health plan. When they realized the cause, Henry adjusted his routine, and his next test gave a truer picture of his everyday health. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to lose friends and respect as they get older? It is a tough truth to face, but many seniors end up feeling disliked, even when they never meant to cause harm. In this video, we are diving into 7 reasons why people might secretly resent you as you age. And understanding these reasons can completely change how you see yourself and how others see you. Stay tuned until the very end, because you will discover how these signs not only explain why relationships might weaken over time, but also show you how to rebuild respect, connection, and even admiration. These lessons are not about judgment, but about growth, giving you the wisdom to avoid mistakes that can quietly push others away. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Constant complaining. One of the clearest reasons people begin to distance themselves from older adults is the habit of constant complaining. When conversations revolve around aches, pains, politics, or how the world used to be better, it can create an atmosphere that others find draining. Younger people, especially who already juggle their own challenges, may quietly pull back because they associate your presence with negativity rather than warmth or encouragement. This does not mean your struggles are unimportant. Sharing your experiences, your hardships, and even your discomforts can build connection if done with balance. But when the tone always shifts toward criticism, it sends the subtle message that you are more focused on what is wrong than on what is still good in life. People naturally gravitate toward energy that uplifts, and constant complaining can signal the opposite. Psychologically, this habit often stems from a sense of loss of control. As we age, the body slows down, opportunities narrow, and it is natural to feel frustration. Complaining becomes a release. But what feels like self-expression to you can sound like rejection of the present to others. Over time, this can erode relationships, even with family members who care deeply about you. Think of a friend you once had, who always grumbled about their job, their spouse, or their health. Did you feel inspired to spend more time with them, or did you quietly start making excuses? The same dynamic applies in later life. If others begin to associate your visits with heavy conversation, they will hesitate to call, visit, or invite you into their world. The good news is that this habit can be reversed. Reframing your words toward gratitude and resilience can turn people's perception of you around. Even small shifts like sharing a memory with joy instead of sorrow, or talking about something you appreciate today instead of what you miss, can draw people closer instead of pushing them away. Complaining is a habit, but so is inspiring others, and you can choose which one defines you. Number 2, refusing to listen. Another powerful reason people start to resent older adults is the refusal to truly listen. As the years pass, some fall into the pattern of believing they already know the answers. Conversations become one-sided lectures instead of mutual exchanges. This creates a subtle wall between you and others, leaving them feeling unheard, dismissed, or even unimportant. Listening is not just about silence while someone else speaks. It is about showing genuine curiosity, asking questions, and making the other person feel valued. When an older adult continually interrupts, finishes sentences, or quickly shifts the topic back to their own story, the unspoken message is clear. What I have to say matters more than what you have to share. Over time, this dynamic breeds quiet resentment. Psychologically, this habit often comes from a desire to preserve dignity. As the world changes quickly, technology, culture, even language, many seniors feel left behind. Speaking over others becomes a defense mechanism, a way of proving relevance. But instead of gaining respect, it often leads to frustration and distance from those around you. Consider a family dinner where a younger relative tries to talk about their new job or relationship. If the response is immediately, "Back in my day," without pausing to hear their full story, the excitement is deflated. That relative may stop trying to share in the future, not because they do not love you, but because they do not feel heard. The irony is that listening deeply often brings more respect than speaking often. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood. By resisting the urge to dominate the conversation and instead asking thoughtful questions, you create an environment where others want to linger. They walk away thinking, "I enjoy being around them because they make me feel important." If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, being overly critical. A third reason many people quietly pull away from seniors is the tendency to be overly critical. With age comes experience, and with experience comes perspective. But when that perspective turns into constant judgment of others, their choices, their appearance, their lifestyle, it can feel less like wisdom and more like condemnation. Younger relatives, neighbors, or even peers may start to dread interactions because they associate them with criticism rather than encouragement. Criticism can take many subtle forms. It might be remarks about how someone dresses, comments about their parenting, or questioning how they spend their money. While these statements may be intended as helpful guidance, they often land as sharp edges that wound instead of build. Over time, those wounds accumulate, and people begin to protect themselves by limiting contact. On a psychological level, being critical often arises from disappointment. Seniors sometimes look at the world and feel it has lost its standards, its manners, or its values. Pointing out flaws becomes a way of holding on to what once felt familiar and right. Yet to those receiving the criticism, it sounds like constant disapproval and rejection. Rather than inspiring respect, it quietly breeds resentment. Think of how you feel when someone points out your mistakes again and again. Do you feel closer to that person, or do you start to avoid them? That is the same way children, grandchildren, and even long-time friends may react. What you see as honesty, they may perceive as harshness. The truth is, everyone already carries self-doubt. A kind word can lighten that burden, but constant criticism only makes it heavier. When seniors shift from judgment to encouragement, relationships transform. A compliment on effort, a word of pride, or even a simple acknowledgement of someone's struggles can make them feel respected and loved. Instead of pushing people away with criticism, you draw them in with understanding and compassion. Number 4. Talking only about yourself. Another reason people may quietly resent older adults is the habit of making every conversation revolve around yourself. Stories of the past, your health issues, or your personal struggles can dominate the dialogue until others feel there is no space left for their voices. While sharing your experiences is valuable, when it becomes the only focus, those around you can feel overlooked and disconnected. This often shows up in small ways. A friend may mention something happening at work, and the response quickly turns into a long story about what you did years ago. A grandchild may share a challenge they are facing, and instead of exploring their feelings, the conversation pivots to your own troubles or successes. Over time, others stop opening up because they sense the spotlight will always swing back to you.